try to keep him under 50 yards. I mean, that to me is the key number. If he rushes for only 50 yards, now you're making him beat you with his arm, and I think you have a chance. If you're letting him just run at will, now he can, you're going to be so focused on stopping him, he can throw it and hit somebody, DJ Moore, deep. So you got to come out here turnover free. Just turnover free football. Jared Goff, you're going to have to lead this team for the final 5 games. You're going to have to do what all the golf lovers and all the golf haters say you either haven't done or you can do. You got to be that guy. You got to be the leader. You got to be the person that leads them to the promised land, gets that home field, wins the division, and gets ready for the playoffs, because it's all on your arms and maybe your legs. But you got to make smart decisions, Jared Goff.
Jared Goff, last 2 years outdoors, November on. I went back and looked it up, and I was surprised. It's not as bad as I think the narrative suggests. It's Jared Goff, last 2 years, 4 outdoor games from November on. He's a 62% passer, so it's a little down. 260 yards a game, that's all right. 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. Now, a lot of that is the Carolina game last year that they lost, but he threw 3 touchdowns and threw for 350 yards. Against Green Bay, 224 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. They won with running and defense. So it does affect him, like every quarterback, but it's not like he turns into a pumpkin at the first sign of, a 30-degree day.
But he's just not that guy to go down and lead the team. He's not.
He doesn't have the cut through the wind arm strength, cross field from one hash to the other, those type of I see a loss today. We don't do this often. We don't open this Sunday show very often and tell you we feel like today's a bad day for the Lions. You guys can react to the phones and the ticket text 248-539-9797. Coming up next, this is a Brad Holmes game. Let me explain. It's 97.1.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, aka fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023. Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When choosing a company to install or repair your AC, heat, or electrical, you want a company you can trust. A company with experience and integrity. For over 50 years, Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical has built their business on honesty and providing quality services and craftsmanship for a fair price. They service all brands, and their estimators don't work on commission, so they won't sell you anything you don't need or want. Family. It's not just the name of their company, but the way they do business. Family and Red Trucks, and the Red Zone for you. Visit FamilyHeating.com. That's FamilyHeating.com. Football fans, are you going through a divorce? Well, call a timeout. Timeout.
And then call Adam. This is attorney Brad Boyer from Adam, the American Divorce Association from Maine. Don't get left on the sideline when it comes to your divorce. Let Adam help you create a winning strategy so you don't have to lose your house, your savings, your retirement, or custody of your children. The attorneys at Adam are with you every step of the way, from the kickoff to the final play in your divorce. Call Adam today at 248-356-2326. That's 248-356-ADAM.
Get in the game with Sarah Whalen Chevrolet, the #1 volume Chevy dealer in the country for new and certified pre-owned vehicles. Sarah Whalen's winning team are the champs when it comes to new and pre-owned sales. That's because every team member at Sarah Whalen makes customer satisfaction their #1 priority. Check out Sarah Whalen Chevrolet today for your new car, truck, or SUV and drive away a winner. Sarah Whalen Chevrolet, 17.5 mile in Van Dyke, Sterling Heights. Call 800-WHALEN-1 or visit sarahwhalen.com. Find new roads.
You don't have to play for the Lions to be treated by the same elite doctors who keep the team at their best.
I know work boots, but I dug deep on battling cancer.
We might not wear matching jerseys, but we were a team during my living liver transplant.
I'm not a lion. I have the heart of one. I am Henry. I am Henry.
We are Henry.
Henry Ford Health, official healthcare provider of the Detroit Lions. And you. Visit henryford.com/teamdocs.
Where does one community end and the next begin? Across the railroad tracks? On the other side of the river? Is it between the east side and the west side? At Comerica Bank, we believe it's all one community, and we're all part of it. That's why Comerica has invested over $20 million for affordable housing, financial education, and workforce development in lower-income communities. Because when we raise expectations for everyone, we all rise. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
With BetMGM, you can make live betting on the Detroit Lions even more exciting. Log into your account starting 2 hours before any Lions game this season, and you'll receive a 50% live odds boost token. Use the token to place a live bet on that week's game, and if your wager hits, you'll boost your winnings by 50%. Only at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks and official partner of the Detroit Lions. Visit BetMGM.com for T's and C's. 21 plus to wager, Michigan only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
The Detroit Lions Tailgate Show with Rico and Costa on 97.1 The Ticket.
Lions and Bears today in Chicago. I'm calling it a Brad Holmes game.
Thank you for letting me vent, by the way.
You needed to. Get it off your chest. I think it's a Brad Holmes game today. And what I mean by that is Brad Holmes drafted not just Aleem McNeil on day 2. He also drafted Josh Paschal, Levi Onwuzurike, and Broderick Martin. Those are defensive linemen drafted in the top 100 by this general manager. They'll miss Aleem McNeil, no doubt. But this is a day where Brad Holmes' defensive linemen that he's been collecting, that he's been developing, need to make a difference. Rico, they did not sign a defensive lineman in free agency. They did not use a top draft pick on their defensive line, and they didn't do anything at the deadline to bring in a pass rusher or an interior guy.
And for everybody
He
who's like,
doubled down. He goes, I got my dudes. Then, okay, Brad, let's see what your dudes have today in a game that you're going to need to be physical in the trenches.
yeah, for people like, oh, well, they didn't need him. It's like, guys, even if you just get him for depth reasons, and today would have been one of those depth starting. He's now doing whatever you need to do. It's going to, Fields just has his best games running. Now, they haven't equated to win, so you can say, well, they don't win the games. But, guys, you want to keep doing this Russian roulette with Justin Fields and running for 100
Yeah,
yards.
perfect spot
Because
to park.
last time they played,
Rico, the Bears had a 12-point lead with 3 minutes to go. That's playing with fire.
you basically took advantage of a dysfunctional coach on the other side. A high school coach wins that game.
And to be fair, that guy is still coaching.
He's still coaching.
He's still on the other side
So
for the
you can
Bears.
feel good about it if you're a Lions fan.